lot of small businesses here do qualify for small business rate relief and they don't apply for it. It's really quite a cumbersome system. I've helped a number of people do this and actually challenge their valuations. So we would make it absolutely automatic.
It cannot be right that small companies pay disproportionately more in rates than larger competitors and particularly chain stores across the country.
You know, as an MP, one of the things I want to try and do is build a bridge between the business community in Truro and Westminster, hopefully with the Labour government. I do actually think that the management of the airport should be privatised and it should be sold to the commercial sector. That doesn't necessarily mean that it shouldn't have been taken on in the way that it was by the County Council as a bridge, but I do think it needs to be a bridge and not a sort of road in itself.
The fact is that we have got an airport, and I think it was actually some bravery of the County Council at that time to actually take the airport on in the first place. In a number of areas they wouldn't have taken it on. The County Council had no responsibility to take over running of an airport, and of course that's not something that they have the expertise in.
Cornwall is connected by air, so I think it's very important that we keep it. In terms of the management of it, I agree with Terry, it was very brave of the council to take it on because it is such a vital link.
If the County Council had said no to it, we probably wouldn't have an airport in Cornwall today, and that would have been detrimental.
The rail network needs long-term investment, and it is difficult, given what's happened with the recession, to see how all of that money is going to come together.
Let's just get a decent rolling stock. Let's upgrade some of our stations and get a decent station. And let's get the sleeper service absolutely cast iron written into the new franchises that have been negotiated. And these are simple things, but we have to watch out because there was a real fear at one time that if they were managed to stop the trains in Plymouth and bus everybody down into the last sort of few miles down to Penzance, and that is something we need to be fighting for.
And it's essential that we've got a strong voice in Westminster at the time when the contracts come up to be specified to actually make sure that they're going to give us an improved service in Cornwall.
So I think overall there is a much more planned approach now to the marine environment, to protecting the marine environment. I think it's right that the impact assessment was done, and it's right, it's right that they're now looking at pursuing the development with the revised channel rather than the original channel that they were proposing to cut.
We have to remember 1,200 jobs in Falmouth docks. That is the hub of Falmouth, it always has been. It drives the economy of Falmouth. Without the docks, I hate to think what Falmouth would look like. We know we have a skilled workforce in the docks. Sadly, we've seen the tin mining industry die over in Campbell and Redruth area. We've seen those engineering jobs and what's happened, how those have died out. We cannot afford to let that happen to Falmouth.
So what I think there should be is an absolute obligation that the economic impact should be set alongside the environmental impact so that we can make balanced decisions.
In terms of a smoking ban, I am totally in favour. I say that because I know Ros, the mayor, smokes like a train and will smoke at any opportunity. Sorry, Ros. But I am totally in favour. I've never been a smoker particularly. I have had a few fags when I was like 12 or 13, as everybody does. Didn't really find it much good to me, but I actually do approve of a smoking ban. It is so much nicer to go into a pub. Your clothes don't stink the next morning, and your hair and your skin and everything else, and it is a really good experience.
I think from the public health grounds we have to keep the non-smoking ban. I can understand the issues that have been raised, but I think really the evidence is so overwhelming about the damage that's done by smoking.
It seems to me that the medical evidence is completely incontrovertible that secondary smoking, secondary inhalation of smoke causes cancer. And I really don't think that once we have that understanding, although we can still say people can smoke in their own homes, I really don't think we can say that people in public places where there are people working, that it's actually reasonable to have people smoking.